So here's a quick look and an overview on the new Shimano 12-speed group set. So we're running rim brake on my TT bike here. Of course the derailleurs are the same whether you've got rim or disc brake. So first thing to note is the front derailleur is quite a bit smaller, a bit less boxy than the old 11-speed DI2. So the 11-speed DI2 would come up like this and it would be quite boxy. This is much smaller in comparison, and it shifts slightly quicker in my opinion, especially at the front. At the back, I actually prefer the old Ultegra DI2 11-speed one in comparison to 12-speed because they've put on the wireless box at the back here. So the derailleur itself is much bigger, and you can only get the long cage version, which I don't need. So it's a bit annoying. I prefer to have a short cage version. Having said that about the size, in terms of functionality, I prefer this a lot more. The built-in Bluetooth is so much better than not having it. Like I say, the actual form factor I'm not a fan of, but I can see why they had to do it. I don't see why they had to do the long cage on the derailleur there, especially for my TT bike. It's just not necessary. So we're running an 1130 tooth at the back on here. If I was running on a road bike, I'd probably do the 1134 and then a 5236 at the front. Because at the moment I can't get any 12-speed chainrings that are any bigger. I prefer to run at least a 53 on the front there, especially for the TT bike. It's paired with the Power 2 Max power meter, which works fine with this because it's the same bolt pattern as the 11-speed stuff. So nothing new on there, so that all works quite nicely. It's on my TT bike, like I said, so at the front we've actually got the old shifters. So we've got the shifter built in just there. So this does the front chainring. So all you have to do is do a software update for these guys, and then it all works with the 12-speed stuff. And then this does the rear derailleur. So that runs through there. No need for a junction box, but what you do need are converters. So you get these little plugs, and you plug in the old thicker wires from here. The big wire goes in one side, and then the little new 12-speed wire comes out the other side, and that can plug into your battery or whatever. Battery's in there. Battery also has 3 ports on it, which is interesting to note. The old 11-speed only has 1 port, so 3 ports on the battery means you've got less complications going on. You've got more options to plug in. The wires are a lot smaller on the 12-speed, so if you can see that there, it's probably about half the size. So it's a lot neater coming out the front derailleur there. And then at the back here, I quite like what they've done. It comes out, let's focus it. It comes out, and you've got a little clip here, so it keeps it all nice and tidy. This is Shadow technology, so this part doesn't actually move, just this part. So you don't have to worry about this stretching at all. It just all stays exactly where it is. I've got wax chain on there, because it keeps it all nice and clean. And then we're just running Ultegra pedals on there. So full Ultegra setup, apart from these shifters, which are Dura-Ace. And dropped it there, got a bit of scratch. Dura-Ace shifters because they don't do Ultegra ones. And I think these are called Dura-Ace as well, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's the form factor. Let's talk about actual performance, okay? So like I mentioned, this is ever so slightly faster, and it's also noticeably quieter. The old one, when you shift, was making a really loud servo noise. This is quite a lot quieter than that, and it's quite nice and crisp. All DI2 is nice though, to be honest. The old stuff is just as nice. This is just the step up. Okay, moving on to the rear. Easier to tune due to the Bluetooth connection, so you can make it a fast shift or a slower shift at the back like you could with the old 11-speed stuff. It's just a lot easier to do so. Of course, you could put the extension box on the old 11-speed stuff, but that was a whole extra thing. It's all built in on this one. Charging port is a lot better as well. Charging port is in there, you just pop that cap off. So you don't have to rummage around for your junction box, it's all just in here. Of course, it means if this is broken, you're absolutely screwed. Because the brains and the charging and everything is in here. So if you get a problem somewhere around here, it's game over really. It's all super easy to set up. You can tune it all on your phone wirelessly. update to wireless, it's so much better doing it that way than having to plug it into a computer. If you're away somewhere and you have to trim it a little bit, if you're racing or something, it's a lot better. In terms of actually shifting on the rear, it's pretty much the same as the 11 speed, other than you've got 12 gears. That's really nice to have. The 1130 has got a really tight spread, so it's super easy to tune your gears, which I find really nice for TT bikes. And then obviously you've got the 1134, but with again a tighter spread if you want it. So yeah, in terms of performance, the rear is basically the same. I mean, rear derailleurs, there's not much difference in them. It's mainly the front that you're interested in when you're buying nice stuff, and that's really nice on there. So if you're running a 1x TT setup, to be honest, I would save your money and go for an 11 speed, other than the adjustability here with the tight spread, but you could just run an 1125 cassette if it's a flat course. So that's all the good stuff. Like I said, the bad stuff only comes in long cage. You can't get bigger chain rings unless you're going Dura Ace, and I don't want to buy extra chain rings because I already got these ones. So that's a real annoyance with the 5236 there with the Ultegra. I do like the new design though, with that slightly blacker design. Okay guys, so overall, if you've got the money, then it's a fantastic group set to get. I know that they made the new hydraulic shifters a bit smaller and a bit nicer on the new 12 speed stuff. If you're getting rim brake, the shifters are pretty much the same as the old ones. If you're interested in TT setups, then like I say, it is compatible with the old 11 speed stuff, which is really nice. You just have to do a software update if it's not working, and you have to get the adapters. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about this group set, then put a comment down below. And if you've got any questions about the bike as well and the build, let me know.